Thank you for taking the time to watch our educational video focusing on mental wellness within the classroom setting. We are a group of graduate occupational therapy students at the University of New Hampshire who were tasked with identifying a need within the community. We used our resources at Seabrook Middle School to determine that school attendance in relation to mental health was a concern for school administrators and teachers alike. We have created this video for teachers, along with a brochure for parents, to bridge the gap and provide knowledge for both school and home to encourage mental wellness within both environments. Our goal is to provide knowledge and resources so that parents and teachers will be able to better identify and address mental health concerns, as well as create a support system for their child or student. A survey was sent out to teachers at Seabrook Middle School to determine the specific mental health needs of children within their care. The most important results show that 89% of teachers feel as though mental health issues play a prominent role in school attendance, as well as 75% of teachers believing that there is a need for additional mental health support throughout the school system. Mental health disorders span from attention and behavior disorders to mood and anxiety disorders. All are just as important as the next and need to be addressed early within a child's life to provide them the best support possible. One of the earliest signs of a possible mental health issue is increased tardiness or absences from school. Others include angry or aggressive behaviors, poor concentration, student appearing withdrawn, changes in school performance, or increased anxiety. Next, you will see a series of video clips that identify subtle signs and actions which can be part of a larger mental health issue.
Hey, do you have your homework from math class? I have to find it. We're gonna be leaving. Allie, are you heading to class soon?
I can't find my homework anywhere.
Okay, well, hurry up, please.
This video clip shows a child who may be having difficulties with their executive functioning skills. For children with anxiety or attention disorders, organizing, prioritizing, and managing time are especially challenging. By noticing the physical signs of disorganization that may present as simple middle school clutter, you can work with the student on both their physical and mental organization to encourage a stronger and less stressful academic environment. A messy desk, backpack, or locker, as well as missing, constantly crumpled, or not fully completed homework assignments, can all be indications of impaired executive functioning skills.
Mrs. Smith, can I go to the nurse? Allie, this is the third time this week that you've asked to go to the nurse.
My stomach just keeps hurting.
Okay.
My stomach hurts.
All right, yeah, of course.
While it is important to care for a child who is truly sick or injured, asking to go to the nurse or coming up with other excuses to leave during school activities may indicate that the child is either seeking extra attention or has some social anxieties. To determine if this is an issue, try to notice the times when a child is asking to leave class. Does it happen during a time when they need to be social, such as recess? Does it happen when they are required to read aloud or are expected to randomly answer questions in front of the class? Does it happen during a test or another time when they are expected to meet a time limit? It can be difficult to evaluate a child's actions and their motivations, but this just allows you to be mindful of what each student is doing and why they may be doing it. Other warning signs that could signify a mental health concern include quitting school activities that a student once loved, getting into fights or arguments with other students, self-harm or noticeable signs of physical injury, extreme difficulty concentrating that may show as a disinterest in school, experiencing very low energy on a daily basis, distancing oneself from friends or social interactions, excessive worry about assignments or grades, extreme risk-taking behavior, little empathy for others and a lack of appropriate feelings of guilt and remorse, food avoidance, deliberately annoying classmates or blaming others for their misbehavior. Next, we will discuss what you can do to create a positive classroom climate that encourages mental wellness through small, simple changes. Some strategies for a child who may be experiencing an anxiety disorder include allowing flexible deadlines when they find a particular assignment worrisome, encouraging accountability and follow-through, but not in ways that promote stress and discomfort, providing choices for assignments and helping them feel like they have some control over their environment, ensuring they write down assignment instructions correctly, posting the daily class schedule so students can know what to expect, and encouraging involvement in extracurriculars to help alleviate some anxiousness through exercise and the sense of social belonging. Some strategies for working with a child who might be experiencing a mood disorder include dividing assigned readings into manageable segments and monitoring the student's progress, checking comprehension periodically. If a student becomes defiant, do not argue with them. Instead, concentrate on calming him or her down. Regularly checking in with the student's parents so that you can share your observations and better understand their cycles of mood fluctuations more effectively. And finally, correcting the other students who attempt to stigmatize or label a classmate who is experiencing mood or energy fluctuations. Some strategies for working with a child who may be experiencing depression include reassuring the student that they can catch up, providing step by step instructions, and being flexible and realistic about your expectations. Helping students use positive statements about their performance and encouraging positive and realistic goal setting. Encouraging gradual social interaction, asking students who are more social to help bring that student back into group discussions. Asking parents what would be helpful in the classroom to reduce pressure or motivate the child. Encouraging physical activity that will assist the student in getting daily exercise. Never dismissing a student's feelings. And finally, including information on depression and other mental health disorders in your teaching. Some strategies for working with a child who may be experiencing an attention deficit disorder include randomly picking reciters so that the child cannot time their attention, signaling that someone is going to have to answer a question about what is being said, using the child's name in a question or in the material being covered, asking a simple question that may not even be related to the topic at hand to a child whose attention is beginning to wander, standing close to an inattentive child and touching him or her on the shoulder as you are teaching, walking around the classroom as the lesson is progressing and tapping the place in the child's book that is currently being read or discussed, decreasing the length of assignments or lessons, alternating physical and mental activities, increasing the novelty of lessons by using films, tapes, flashcards, or small group work, incorporating the child's interests into the lesson plan, giving simple, concrete instructions once and making sure that they write down any necessary instructions, and finally, teaching children self-monitoring strategies. While many of the strategies above can be used for all students, a few simple strategies that can be implemented in every classroom to create a more positive classroom environment include creating a physically active classroom, alternating between physical and mental activities, appropriately planning for transition time and letting children know when they are coming as well as what the expectations are when they are over, speaking openly about mental health within the classroom to create a more comfortable environment where students feel as though they can trust you and their peers, and finally, letting students know what resources are available within the school system where they can speak privately with someone if they are having an issue. If you feel as though a student requires more support than you are able to offer on your own, consider referring a student for a 504 plan that will provide services and changes to the learning environment to meet the needs of the child as adequately as other students. You may also consider referring a student for an IEP plan that will provide individualized special education and related services to meet the unique needs of the child. If you notice any of the warning signs mentioned in this video, take the time to address the issue either with the student directly or with school administration if you feel more comfortable. It is possible that others may not be aware of these warning signs or are simply not noticing them, so make sure you are using your knowledge to give students the best support available. We hope you use the strategies mentioned in this video, but if you feel as though you need more information or training on mental health and wellness, look into furthering education courses on these topics so that you can be as informed as possible. This may all seem overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. Here's a list of resources within Seabrook Middle School that are at your disposal to help with any concerns or issues that arise. Use these resources if you ever feel as though you need more support or education surrounding mental health. If you ever feel as though you want to look further into specific topics we've discussed within this video, please use these additional resources to find expanded upon explanations and ideas that can contribute to your knowledge surrounding mental health. We understand that teachers and school administrators alike have plenty on their plate already, so we simply ask that you take our information and strategies into account and use them to create a safe and comfortable classroom environment where a child feels engaged and nurtured to eventually increase school attendance and participation. Thank you for taking the time to watch our educational video, and we hope that you will use the knowledge we've presented to further support students and enhance the understanding of mental health within the school system.